This is JF Boxing Media reporting live and direct with Mr. Eddie Hearn. Busy times for you, Eddie. It looks like you're not stopping at the minute.
No plans to. You've got to give it everything, and then you either keel over and die or you call it a day. Hopefully it'll be the latter. But right now we're flying, all around the world and loving life and loving the events and the fighters and the fights and everything. So, yeah, buzzing and looking forward to being in Liverpool. It's a great place to stage an event, great bars, great restaurants, great sporting city and big fight fans.
I mean, John Ryder's come off the back of some great victories, and I interviewed him earlier and he had a steely determination in his eyes. Do you think he's got anything in his arsenal that could trouble Callum Smith at all?
Yeah, he can punch. He's a very good technical boxer. He's a southpaw, he's tricky, but Callum Smith is probably, he is the #1 super middleweight in the world right now. But he's right up for it, Fowler. And there could never be a better time for John to fight Callum Smith. Like, he's firing on all cylinders, he's won plenty of fights by knockout, he's built himself to a mandatory position, but Callum will be returning home with a big crowd looking to make a major statement.
I mean, how realistic is it of a chance of Canelo coming to Anfield over the next 12 months?
I think Anfield is unlikely for Canelo, but he's more than welcome to. But I think, whether it's Vegas or whether it's Wembley or whether it's Mexico, Callum's in the mix. Probably if he looks really good on Saturday, maybe he won't be in the mix. But, he's a brilliant fighter with the Ring Magazine belt, with 2 world titles. So, people are looking at him as a target. And, of course, the Billy Joe Saunders fight is a unification between 2 Brits.
I mean, a lot of people talk about the varying styles between Billy Joe Saunders and Callum Smith. Be an interesting fight to make. How could you see that playing out?
Well, I think Billy's not too dissimilar to John Ryder in that they're both southpaws, they're both a little bit tricky. I think Billy's more of a pure boxer than John Ryder, and probably John punches a little bit hard, although he saw a good knockout win for Billy in Los Angeles. But I just think it's an intriguing matchup, and I think all those guys are ready now to put it on the line to try and create legacy and try and win all the titles.
I mean, from your personal viewpoint, when Billy was fighting in America, was that a bit of an eerie moment for you?
Yeah, I felt like he was behind. I was screaming at him. I said, you got to knock him out. I think he was ahead just on the cards, but I didn't want him to win on points in a labouring victory. And actually, he pulled it out of the hat because it was a great stoppage victory that actually people forgot that some of the performance was a little bit flat. But people are talking about, like him, Canelo, Golovkin, and that's the danger for Callum in this fight. Is everyone's talking about Anfield, Canelo, and Ryder's thinking, how much does Callum want this right now? That's the question. I believe he does, and I know he wouldn't have overlooked him because he rates John Ryder. But right now, Ryder is chomping at the bit, thinking, I'm 48 hours away from changing my life.
Yeah, and he's also built up a lot of momentum over the past few months as well.
And a great relationship with Tony Sims. They're almost like father-son. They want it bad. They want it really bad.
So let's move on to the fight that everybody's talking about. Varying opinions on that. A lot of people think that AJ is going to do the business. There's a massive amount of people that think Ruiz has got his number psychologically, and hand speed, power, footwork. What's going to happen?
I think it's a 50-50 fight. I do. All I can tell you is AJ's in a different space this time around than he was last time. Much more focused, much better preparation. He wanted to win last time, but I just don't think. It's just a different man. It's a guy who's got a real bit between his teeth, and I believe he's going to knock Ruiz out, but I think it's going to be tough. I think he's going to have to come through fire like he did against Klitschko, and I can't wait. I mean, it's going to be one of the biggest fights of all time.
You must be very excited, but extremely nervous as well.
Yeah, petrified, because he's a mate of mine. I want him to win so bad, and I've seen him suffer in defeat, and I've seen him roll up his sleeves and say, let's go. No warm-up fights, put me straight back in with him. Right, and I know how much he wants to win. So it's not a case of it'd be great for Matchroom. I want him to win because he's a great individual and he's a winner. So fingers crossed, 2 weeks Saturday.
I'm not sure if you do round predictions, Eddie, but
6-9 AJ. Or what was that? Was it an AJ question or was it someone else?
It was actually.
6-9 AJ by knockout.
Just want to say that again.
6-9 AJ by knockout.
And how much money do you reckon I should put on that?
Your entire savings and all your mortgage, but don't come chasing me after if it don't go wrong.
So massive event, Liverpool. There's an undercard fight that a lot of people are talking about. Young Harry Scarf against
Fowler.
Yeah. How can you see that playing out?
Again, everyone's talking about Fowler Fitzgerald. Everyone's talking about Preston and this, and then Harry Scarf comes up, just beats Jack Flatley on Channel 5. Very tricky fighter. I think it's a banana skin for Fowler. Fowler should win. He's got to force the pressure and beat him up. But Scarf can fight, and Clifton and the guys really fancy it.
He's come out of nowhere, and Clifton's very determined and very focused, and he thinks he's going to get it.
They do. They fancy it. He's got a lot of fans coming up from Derby. It's going to be a good fight.
And how did you enjoy your trip, KSI, Logan Paul?
Unbelievable experience, mind-blowing. Everyone's asking me to do more and more, except for the hardcore fight fans.
Did you ever get any time off?
No, I do what I love. When you love what you do, you never have to work another day. All right.
Thanks for your time, Eddie. Thanks for speaking to Jeff Media.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, pal.
No worries, mate.
Appreciate that.